Some comments on using the Hornby DCC system on our layout. Well, this is on an end-to-end layout with fiddle yard, and the main controller that we're using on this is the Hornby Elite controller, and this is being used to control the layout. We do have a Model D gauge master, but this is just to power the point motor decoders, so that's just providing an unregulated output which is required by the decoder circuits, which have got capacitor discharge units in it. The decoders pick up the signals they require from the track, and so all accessories and all locos can be controlled from here. In terms of programming locos to change their numbers, we don't seem to be able to program them on the layout, so we do have a separate programming track here to do that, which is okay. But there are two outputs from the back of the Elite, one for normal running and one for programming, so we're okay with that. Now, the interesting thing we found out, I didn't know whether we would be able to use the Hornby Select as a walkabout. I went to have a look at a Hornby walkabout in the shop, and although it clearly states that you must not plug a power supply into the walkabout has exactly the same back panel as this, including a socket for the power supply. So it looked exactly the same, and if you compare it in terms of price, actually this has just gone up to £99 normal retail price from Hornby, and the walkabout is about 80. So there's now about £20 price difference. In the shop there's about £10 price difference between the Select and the Select walkabout. The only difference being you don't get a plug-in 1 amp power supply, as far as I can tell, if anybody knows any different. So I believe this is exactly the same as the walkabout. So you can see there's no power supply. Now, the other thing that we're told is that you need to connect it between the Select for the ExpressNet, what do they call it on this one? Yes, it's ExpressNet, with an RJ12 connector. Well, the RJ12 connectors from model shops with their leads are quite expensive. This is one. All 6 wires, and you can see it through the translucent thing, are connected from end to end. You can get a much cheaper telephone wire, which is RJ11, and we have plugged the RJ11 wire in. That white wire there goes all the way to the other unit, and it works fine. So with just the 4 wires on an RJ11 connector, we can use the Select as though it were a Select walkabout, which means that we've got 4 knobs, no, sorry, not 4, 3 knobs to twiddle, and if we assigned these two to 2 locomotives and the other one to a locomotive. Now, what's the disadvantages? Disadvantage number 1 is that we wanted to come up with a sensible naming or numbering scheme for our locomotives. This will allow you to do it as soon as you connect the walkabout, or let's just say a Select. You then are unable to use your numbering scheme because the Select will only allow you to do numbers up to 99. We're not going to have more than 99 locomotives. It was just we might have wanted to number locomotives with a number that was like their number, so 105. Something that was easier to remember than just a straightforward number from 1 to 99. So that's a disadvantage then, that we can't use the wider numbering scheme of the Select. Sorry, of the Elite when you plug in a Select to it. Other than that, I don't think there are any major serious limitations. I've not fully tested it, but at the moment we've not been able to use the built-in ExpressNet ports on the layout. That white wire is running externally. I'm not quite sure why that is. It's just a 4-wire connector, and if you've got all 6 wires connected, the 4 should go through. So that's just our first findings of using the Hornby DCC to control the layout. We are going to connect computers with TrackMaster and handheld devices as well.